Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video I'll be covering the Adelaide versus Brisbane practice match, in which Adelaide got over the line late over the reigning premiers by 3 points in what was a really good game in the end, and gave us a lot of insight. I feel like gave us some hope, but also diminished some hope with some rookie prospects. But anyway, let's just jump straight into this recap here. So as you can see here, got the scores up, and Jordan Dawson absolutely dominated. 24 touches, 2 goals, 7 marks, 9 tackles. We always know he's going to be a non-disposal beast. What's that? 21, 36, 57 non-disposal points, which is absolutely amazing, alongside the goals in the behind. So I believe he ended up with 67 non-disposal points, which is quite a big number, more than a lot of players scored individually. But then also you have the 60 points from kicks, and then the 8 points from handballs there, and that gets you up to the 135 that he did end up scoring from 80% TOG. It was a little bit annoying that he did have the that he is probably going to split in terms of the CBAs. If we look here, just scrolling up again, where is the full CBAs? Full CBAs. So you've got O'Brien, Rankin, Crouch, Dawson at 16. 16 out of, what's that, 27, 31. So that's 53%. Not the greatest, to be honest with you, not the greatest there. And then you've got, McInerney, Neil 28 out of the 31 is quite ridiculous, unless that could easily be 18. But that could just be a misclick there with Neil, as I don't know if he was really at that many. Let's actually just do a count here. So 46, 60, 77, there should be 77, 86, 92, 93. Maybe it actually is right. Maybe that actually is right. If Henry Smith, and that actually is right, I think, with Neil attending 28 there. Yeah, that could be actually right. So that would be quite Neil-ish if he did attend that. I don't know if that exactly is true, but probably is. Anyway, Neil 110 looks really good. Probably going to have some tags. I don't think he really copped a full tag. He copped just sort of Peatling in and around and stuff like that. And Adelaide's midfield mix, if you look at it, looks very much like they're not going to employ a full tagger. So that's probably good as well, playing Adelaide. Neil 30 touches, he looked dominant, 86% TOG. So probably does lean into the fact that he did play a lot on ball. And did get a really good hit out there. Dane Zorko, 102, he looked pretty good there. Not many marks, which was probably a good thing that he got a score up there. 80% TOG, so he looks good. Just early buy, probably around about full price. You'd have to see anomaly for him to be value. I feel like Isaac Rankin was someone that I was tracking most of the day, or most of the night I should say, going, I need to find a way to get him in. And then he ends up on 92, and I'm like, take out, he's probably going to kick a goal a game, let's say. So that's probably realistic for him. I don't think he's going to take 9 marks in a game. I don't think that's realistic, because we know that the halfbacks usually take about 7 or so, 8 a game, I think is the most. I think Sicily was like 8.6 or something a couple of years ago that I remember. Let's actually just check it. Let's actually go to Zorko here, and let's look at his numbers. Let's look at Zorko's numbers here, 1 second, because he's probably going to be the most obvious one to look at last year and see how many marks did he take, because a lot of his marks are just simple. He took 7.9 marks. I don't think a midfielder, on-ball midfielder, is going to take 1 more mark per game. So I think realistically, you take away 4 marks, you add another 3 or 4 touches or whatever there. I think he probably does go in that late 80s, early 90s ranking, as he is an impact player rather than a full-on disposal-based type of guy, non-disposal work, etc. So he's probably going to average in that around about the 90s range. And is that valuable, or are you going to go Jason Horne-Francis, or are you going to find value elsewhere? It's just very, very intriguing. He's one that probably is going to annoy me, and probably going to be a guy that I look to grab early, potentially a fix-up early, etc. Dunkley 91 looked pretty good. 75% TOG, that'll go up. Crouch 66% TOG for a 90. 144 meters game, just pretty good. Didn't like the kick to handball ratio a little bit. He did look a little bit sort of slowing down the momentum of Adelaide a little bit. So just wonder if he lasts the full season in there, or if they go with more of that run and dash that you get out of Sid Draper, because Sid Draper came on and he looked a whole different energy compared to Crouch. Berry 85 on the wing is pretty good, but not expecting much from him. Soligo 80, another guy that we're watching for that midfield role. We know we had a fair chunk in the CBAs. If we look at it, 13 CBAs. So that was pretty good. And also you will see that Dawson 16 out of the 31 CBAs. If you actually look at it, when they brought on Draper comparatively, I don't think they necessarily brought someone off. Maybe they did bring Crouch off, but you would still expect Dawson to have a couple more CBAs, maybe 20 out of the 31. So I think in season he's going to average in that sort of 65 range, give or take, but we'll just see how that flows. But I think he will, in the end, go up around that marker, because I know he spent the last couple of CBAs at full forward there. And then you've got O'Brien, not valuable, Hinge, Fletcher, Levi. This was probably one of the most encouraging things of the night, as I sent definitely a text to some people being like, I just went through the the AFL draft and looked at the 1 through 12 draft picks, and realistically there's only like 2 or 3 guys that are going to start best 22, and that's really annoying, but I think it's really good for future seasons in AFL Fantasy especially, and Supercoach for instance, that we're going to get a lot of rookies coming through in the next year or two, as well as the fact that the good thing is it could also help later on in the year when we get these guys. We know Taj Hotton's going to debut sometime. We know if Layla doesn't rock up, Layla and Smiley don't rock up round 1, they're going to rock up sometime this year. We know that. Sid Draper's going to break his way into the 22, and if he doesn't and is just the sub, then he's going to find a way next year to break in, and then that'll present value if he's priced at like 40 or so. So you've got things like that happening, where you've got, and that sort of trends towards a lot of people turning out to be the price of a nod. O'Driscoll, Nevitt, Sheldrick, etc. They're all in and around that range where they can, if they get a full-time 22 spot, they're very, very valuable. But yeah, Levi Ashcroft, on-field lock pretty much, as he somehow in this Lions squad got 23 touches and a goal, which is just crazy how good he is. Neil Bullen, Worrell, Lester, Laird, really disappointing off half-back. I think his awareness in space is really poor, and he got caught holding the ball, I think, twice. Especially in their back 50 or back half, and 24 touches, it wasn't the greatest. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Still having a little bit time on ball, especially if it's in the back half, but not actually in the CBAs per se, so just around the ball outside of the CBAs. Luke Nankervis was alright, impactful I felt like, but not crazy good. Maybe it was just him and Peatling and Laird having similar numbers, so I was trying to distinguish between them. McInerney just trotted out there. Fogarty, Vilthorpe, Scholl, Will Ashcroft 66, probably a little bit offsetting that it wasn't the greatest, but 70% Toggy was just getting through. Murray, Lohman, Cumming was a little bit disappointing here. 17 touches basically on the wing, so that was that. And then the next guy to talk about, James Peatling, 21 touches, 2 tackles, 58, a little bit poor, to be honest with you, and looks to be not in the CBAs and more off half forward, and that's not the role we want. So I'm trying to desperately, at least I've found a way in my fantasy side, but in my Supercoach side, get him out of there, because at this point in time I just don't see the value there. And I think I put like maybe even Hugo Garcia in that role, in that in that M5 role, because I could easily put like a Sanders or someone like that in. But yeah, I just put a Hugo Garcia there at the start, and yeah, it's very disappointing to see this from Peatling, and so I think a lot of people will jump off of him because the role just doesn't look there. If he had an extra 3, 4, 5 tackles, then I probably wouldn't be too disappointed. If he ends up, say, on 6 tackles there and ends up on a 76, it's not the worst, but the role inside just isn't there at the moment. They're going with the slow burner of a Matt Crouch over a Peatling and Draper. Wilmot, McCluggage, Walker, no one else here really. Sid Draper, 39% time on ground, 42, so he just finds a way to find the ball. He's just explosive out of stoppage. He had 5 clearances and 39%, which is basically a half a footy. So yeah, he just really showed it. And then Dan Curtin playing this half forward role just doesn't look the greatest for him, to be honest with you. And so yeah, 7 touches for him, 3 marks, 3 tackles. He's a good player. Just think he's been playing out of position a little bit per se. And then I don't think anyone else down here was really too impactful. And then you saw Murray, Murphy, and Jones not play. And it sounds as if Adelaide they played their best 22 with the sub being the likes of Dan Curtin, who came on in the second half. I don't know who exactly for, or if they directly subbed someone out, or if they just sort of played with a 5 bench rotation for the second half. But we'll see about that. And then also you had for Brisbane, where is he? You had Starcevic go down 23%. He copped a knock, and I believe he's concussed, which would put him out of the opening round game that they have. So we'll see if anyone comes in for him, and just be careful of that spot there if a name pops up there, because yeah, he will be coming back soon, and he is best 22 when he plays. So there's that. I think that's all for this video. Another shorter one, as don't want to keep these ones too long. Want to keep them pretty short, and just sort of my thoughts and feelings on some guys, not go too deep into them, as obviously we have opening round and a lot of things are going to change around teams, etc. I know that I'm flipping some things around. But a lot of it's opening round dependent. But anyway, if you did enjoy that video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and if you are listening on Spotify, give me a follow and a rating over there, and I'll see you guys probably, I think this is going to be uploaded on the Saturday, so I'll see you guys on the Sunday for the 2 Friday game recaps, and then you'll have the Saturday games on the Monday, I believe. But anyway, I'll see you guys then. Bye guys.